Introducing Toro. In this river, right here, lies the goalpost from Saturday's game. Tennessee beat Alabama. They broke down the goalpost and carried it to the river. Completely random, but I figured you might want to know that.
Pack down like my mule, roads clear, tank full, kick back with my feet up. I twist back and I speed up. Left lane, pipe full, move fast but it's got more. Clear skies. Thank you, Lord, I'm gliding. Perfect day for riding. 500 in front of me and I'm right here where I want to be. It's a beautiful day and I thank God for it all. I'm traveling tall.
You know, I realized that I didn't give you guys a cold start. I don't know how you can make debut a motorcycle with your brand new exhaust and not give somebody a cold start. I don't know. But anyway, it's the next day. I'm gonna give you a cold start on this motorcycle so you can hear what it sounds like. The new Burn Stainless Traveling Tall Edition. Let's hear it. Cold start. So I don't know if it's actually hearing what I'm hearing now. Sounds good to me. Now, there's no reason for me to rev this up because you are about to hear it on the dyno, and there is plenty of revving going on the dyno. So now let's go back a couple days ago where I'm at Zipper'S and they dynoed the bike. You're gonna get the numbers and everything. Let's go. Shout out to Bob. Bob's on vacation right now, but I am here with Adam, the senior developer of Redshift Cam, and Dan Fitzmaurice from Zipper'S Performance, and they're going to tell you about the dyno graph and explain it.
All right, Tall. So since the new 2024s are so different, you know, they have different cylinder heads, the cylinders are different, the electronics package, it really is a complete new motorcycle in a lot of senses. There's not a lot of parts out there for these yet in terms of performance because the aftermarket has to develop all this stuff. So what we have done here, this is the very first stage 3 muscle kit, and we're gonna have you be our test rider for this.
I'm fine with that.
So we're not going to give all the little nitty gritty details today, but we will tell you some basics about this package and what these new motorcycles are capable of. We are now a pump gas 128. You've gone from a 117 to a 128, only a slight difference in compression, but this thing is making humongous power.
Right.
It's astounding how much more it's making over the previous generations. And we love the previous generations. I mean, if you look at a Milwaukee 8 versus the ending of the twin cam, it's so much better. And then you look at the start of the twin cam. So, you know, every major change Harley has done, they've made them more nimble, lighter, and just a more pleasant motorcycle to ride. And with that said, they're putting engines together that allow us to make even more power for you.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask this question for you guys. I know you guys are gonna ask, why did we go with a 128 when there's 135s out there now?
So we've always believed in power and performance by efficiency. So we can generally make a smaller motor make more power than a larger motor from other competitors. Now, why are we at 128? We wanted to maximize the wall thickness of your cylinder spigots. And what that does is it's going to give you more long-term durability, because we know this is going to be a mileage bike. We know you're going to be riding this thing all over the country.
Yes, I am.
So we did not feel it was appropriate to go really any thinner on the spigot, although, you know, a lot of people have gone thinner, and if it's set up properly, it can work well. This is an additional level of just precaution that we're taking, because we don't want you to have a problem, you know, on a long ride with this. Yeah. And I can tell you right now, we're making enough power with this 128 that you're not going to be crying about 2 or 3 cubic inches, you know, when you're going down the road.
That's why I like Zipper'S Performance. They'll make a bike that's rideable. They'll make a bike that is reliable. Adam doesn't even care about the dyno. He doesn't even care about the numbers on the dyno. Dyno sheets are somewhat bragging cards where you tell your buddies how fast your bike is.
I have a feeling with this 128, you're going to make a bunch of people with 132s and 135s very sad when you go blowing past them. So I'd rather give you that edge on reliability, but also give you the edge on power. Why not have both?
But while that's going on, we are working on development of larger things. It's just that we always start at, as Adam said, the baseline of efficiency, to start with the engine that you're going to be your platform and develop it from there. And it's kind of something we've done for decades. It's just like when we raced, we rarely were the largest engine out on the racetrack, but we always worked to be efficient. But to all you big cubic inch guys out there, yeah, we're working on that too, but this is the platform right here.
Okay, so with this pre-production unit, we have produced, and this is pretty crazy, 164 horsepower and 157 foot-pounds of torque. Wow. And that's measured at the rear wheel, SAE, number 3 smoothing correction, how we always do it. So these numbers are astounding. I mean, we pump gas. This is not anything crazy. We're not trying to, you know, scatter parts here. We're trying to make good, usable, reliable power. But the numbers just keep going just crazy because, again, the changes that Harley has made has allowed us to make even better changes to these engines. So as Harley evolves, it allows us to evolve. And now all of a sudden, 164 horsepower is just a drop-on kit. It's not even really a big deal anymore. I mean, we were talking, you know, 20 years ago, 160 horsepower was, I don't want to say it was unobtainium, but you better have a lot of money, and it's not going to be a street bike or very streetable in the sense of what this is.
Right. With the new changes Harley's made on this bike, I really think that it's going to be a totally different ride than the previous generation.
Right. So the gearing is different on this over a 23 or earlier. So that's why you feel it hit a little bit harder. Yeah. You know, we've proven on a dyno a 23 117 and a 24 117, they make the same numbers. But the chassis is lighter and the center of gravity is lower, the gearing ratio is different, and these motorcycles are faster. There's hands down, anyone ridden 23s and 24s, the 24s are faster.
Yes, they are.
So, and now this thing is a rocket ship. When you arrived here, we did a pull, and you made with your Stage 2 Screaming Eagle kit 125 foot-pounds of torque We measured 107 horsepower, but it had the speed limiter on, and I think it's pulled 114 with that off, which are fantastic numbers. But it's not comparable to where we're at with this big bore kit.
This is a whole nother level.
And again, this is a 117. This did not start as a 121. Our motorcycle made 116 torque and 94 horsepower, which for a stock motorcycle is incredible.
And guys, this is like he said, it started off with 117, now it's a 128. Yeah, you have 121s out there, CVO, STs. I like starting with the base bike because you can take the bike, get a Zipper'S Performance kit on it, and just flat out annihilate anybody you line up against, and you're still not quite at the point of an ST. And that may not be a popular statement, but you have base model, you're around 26, 27,000. You still have a whole lot to play with before you get into the ST range. Now, I've always done it that way. I like taking the bike and making it my own and building it up to something special because I'm not trying to have the most expensive bike out there and still get, left in the dust looking at other people's taillights. You can take the base Harley-Davidson, put some work into it, and get out there and be at the front of the pack. Make sure you check your local shop or give Zipper'S Performance a call. They can introduce you to a shop in your area that can put this same kit, when it's available, on your motorcycle.
We as well have always purchased what's the cheapest base model motorcycle, and I like to leave mine stock. So it looks like I have nothing done, but holy cow, yeah. But the power is usually not stock.
With this motorcycle here, a lot of people will ask, like, hey, I'm not racing my motorcycle. Why would I need this much power? If you are out just traveling on the road and you're two up, you have your luggage packed down and everything, you have someone on the back, and you're traveling, the passing power that you have from these kits that Zipper'S Performance have. Now, there's kits under this. You don't have to go straight to this one. There's a sport touring kit that I have on my Road Glide, which is a phenomenal kit. But having a big bore kit just changes the way that you ride a motorcycle. You have the confidence to get past that big truck. And when you're going up big hills, big runs, without having to gear down to get up the hill, it still has all the power and the torque to really move you, your passenger, and their gear down the highway and still do it in an efficient manner if it's done like they've done. My fuel mileage hasn't suffered from a lot of these kits that they put on their bike. So I know we're talking about this kit today, but make sure you check out that Sport Touring kit from the last generation. That's a fantastic kit.
There'll be a lot of admirers that are watching this today and perhaps even studied some of the previous muscle kits and things that we've developed, but they're perfectly happy in their application. They might have a redshift cam bolted in a stock engine, might have the catalyst head pipe on the engine with a pair of slip-on mufflers, and they're happy as a clam because it's providing them with the power that they want, the way they ride, in the terrain that they ride in. And that's part of the reason why we are maybe a well-rounded company in the offerings that we put out, because we know that everybody's different. What you ride is different. How you ride is different. And the geography that you ride in could be different. And so we start at the base, kind of going back to your conversation about the engine size, and we start with the bolt-in items, and we work on efficiency, and then we just keep migrating up. So if you look at all the strategies that goes into the engineering that goes on here, that's the mindset to it. And then if you're a viewer and you're watching this, you just study these curves, and then you look at how you ride, and then that really puts you in the direction of what particular parts package might be best for you. I agree with you that not everybody needs this or wants this, but we usually have another shoe that fits your foot just right. You just have to study the graph.
Make sure that you go to zippersperformance.com. Check out all of their engine kits, check out their cams. That's a good way to look and see, but if you give them a call, then one of the call representatives can talk to you. You can tell them how you ride, tell them what you ride and what you're looking for, and they can help you on a personal level.
I learned a long time ago on a motorcycle, the statement, power saves, is actually very true. There are moments when you are very vulnerable on a motorcycle, and it's when a car all of a sudden is merging over, and if you have to hurry up and wait for power, or if you have to click down 2 gears, that time is very, very important. And that partial second to be able to just smack the throttle and go. You know, sometimes braking is what you need to do, but sometimes acceleration is the appropriate answer. From our bolt-in cams to even these big kits, you know, we're trying to give you that power where when you're riding, it's right there. It's an immediate thing, so that if you get into one of those bad situations, you can just get yourself out of it quickly.
I think Zipper'S Performance makes great products. You definitely need to give them a call.